Hello everyone, my name is SiC. Welcome back to Humankind, where we are playing with the first expansion, We Rule Together. Before we continue on, I would like to point out that I now have a Ko-fi account where you can directly support the channel. It would be greatly appreciated if you decide you want to support me in this way. Without further ado then, let's continue on. We're building a farmer's quarter over in Unuk. I am working on getting this territory, and we made use of the new demilitarization ability of our diplomat affinity, or our diplomatic culture that we're playing, the Sumerians. This means that basically nobody can enter here, or if they do, we will get leverage against them, which we can use to force them into doing things that we want them to do that they might not necessarily agree with. Basically, it's a way of blackmailing people, which is amazing. Alright, so we needed, I don't remember exactly how much. I think we need to wait one more turn to grab this. In that time we will heal up one of our troops. And then we have of herds and heirlooms. Today, the era of nomadism is a distant memory for your people. Multiple generations of families having lived and died in the same city over the course of centuries. Every death comes with pain and grief for those still living, but as time has passed, family quarrels have also become commonplace, as arguments over material possessions flare up. One distinguished family, riven by disputes over a herd of prized cattle, has asked for you to establish a clear system of inheritance to help avoid future arguments. What is your decree? Now we can overlook this. Basically that doesn't really... it shifts the social axis towards tradition a little bit more. We can distribute it, which shifts the economic axis towards collectivism. Or privilege, which will move it towards individualism. Now let's see, when we have this economic, let's see, collectivism, the choice is taken, emphasize socialized measures, regulations on the economy, it doesn't really say, okay, here we go. +5 stability on all cities, +5% money, or +10% money when we're over here. +5 stability on all cities, +5% food, and +10% food on city or outpost. This is all stability. This is on garrisons, which is a separate district that we can build. This is science. Over here we have faith, influence, and stability, which is towards order. It's liberty. Alright, yeah. +2 combat strength on geopolitical axis. +1 combat strength on units. Oh, this is food and this is for military. Alright, that is interesting. And then we have collectivism, +10% industry, +5% industry on industry or outpost. Over here, it doesn't really do anything for us. So if we keep this stable, we will have extra stability. Alright. I think distribute. That should move it over towards the industry. So that will help. Alright, how many turns before we get another person? 2 more turns, alright. Sure enough. And 1 more turn for another person to show up. And that turn also the farmer's quarter will be finished. Now we have 99 influence. We should be able to use that to grab a territory. There we go. 17 and 3. That is very skewed towards food production. I wonder if there's anything else. 4, 14. 4, 15, 7, 8. So this is very run-of-the-mill, very average. Like 7, 9 is decent, I guess. The question is, do we want to hook this up to Unog? I guess we could. And then we would have a lot of food and some production, but then we could not really... Yeah, I guess we could still build out in this way and get some more production with makers' quarters over there. So this might be the best way to go about it. Actually, we needed less influence than I thought we did, but it's okay. These guys are healed up a little bit more, and we have time because of that, because of the fact that this area is demilitarized. So Let's go ahead and grab this territory. Okay, 8 turns. Why is that taking so long? That is very curious. Alright, so Unug has finished building. What do we want to do next? So first of all, we have an empire foundation. By what right do we rule? We have 2 new civics, founding myths, and legitimacy. Now one of these I think we are definitely going to want to grab. If we grab natural right for founding myths, we claim inherent dominion over the land and beasts. We'll get +5 influence on the main plaza. That means we should be able to extend our territories a little bit quicker, you know? Or we could go for faith and try to dominate in this way. But I think, this also shifts our thing towards social, towards progress, I mean. And that will help with actually getting more science in our city as well. And since we are already a science-focused culture, along with diplomacy, this will really lean into our strength. So
why was this even a question?
Double benefit.
Let's keep it simple. We've been here. It's our place.
Right, so we could go ahead and grab dice, and we will get +5 industry when that is done. Or we could go, oh, that's just +1. That is so terrible. That is really bad. Eduba could be nice to grab as well, but this goes over the district that we just built, which is just really terrible. We could get +9 at the cost of -4 food, -3 production, -3 food. Like, it needs to be adjacent to our city center for it to be really effective. And this is the best location because we get +10 and then at -3 food, but that is okay, that is decent. I think we're going to go ahead and make sure that we get the most benefit out of our culture here before moving on. Of course, you know, we're still not there yet. We have quite some more things left to do. You know, many era stars to collect, basically. Yeah, but let's see, what is next for research? We could go with carpentry. We have the clear forest option. We have the lumberyard that we could build, in archers. Archers are always nice, especially in this area here, where we could block off terrain and we could just pepper people with arrows from up on high without them being able to defend themselves. That would be perfect. Alright, so now that we are grabbing this, we could probably send these guys over towards this area, because we have saffron over there, which is also really good. But at the same time, we probably will need copper. And copper, of course, provides a good benefit for us as well. Let's actually grab this territory first. Porcelain, it's okay. We get some extra money. That's not bad. That's pretty useful. I would like papyrus as well, because it provides us with the +3 science. But well, this is different. They look very similar, but it's a different source. I thought we would get to, but still, this is pretty nice. Except this only provides papyrus, and this provides copper as well as porcelain. So, you know, more advantage for us. And we could go ahead and grab the horse ranch. +3 science per adjacent research quarter. So we would want to build a research quarter next to this. We could get +2 science here as well. Just for the fact that we have horses, that provides a bit of science. I'm not sure if I want to spend the influence quite yet, however. That is the question. Alright, we'll send our troops on their way. 4 turns. Let's see, we now have someone working on money. We could actually drop a person in over here. We will lose a little bit of money production, but we will build this faster. I think that is a little bit better. In 5 turns we will have another population. We could also drop a person over in here, shave this off to 3 turns, and then we can put that person on production. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to be growing first as much as possible. Yeah, I wonder if this is because we are right next to San Lorenzo, that we share a border, and that's why it's taking so long for this to become an outpost. That would make sense to me, actually. Let's see, we need 89 influence, so next turn we can make a outpost over here as well. We're going to skip a turn for now, because I have a feeling we would probably want to be somewhere along the river here. Or maybe over here. It's part of the same territory, but I don't know. Let's see. We're going to skip 1 turn. Create your religion. All right, so create your religion, pick the base of your people's beliefs. So we can have +6 faith on the main plaza, or we can do shamanism, +2 faith on the main plaza and +2 faith on the administrative center. So this is basically if we want to build tall. We want to have one city with many other territories attached to it, and then that would be an immediate strong boost to our religion. This is better if we spread out a lot and grab a lot of territories, which we are planning on doing because we're focusing on generating influence. So I'm going to go ahead and grab shamanism. Carpentry has been researched, that is nice. And now we should be able to grab a territory here. It defaults to this other location because that is more beneficial. So I guess we don't get very strong yields here. Well, actually 8-12 is not bad. 9-6, 9-8, 6-10, 8-5. And like, of course, we need to keep in mind like productivity. 8-10 is pretty decent, or defensibility, I mean, not just productivity. But this is actually not a bad location, 8-12. Let's go ahead and grab that. It's also pretty defensible, but we can also spread out from here, build our districts in 2 different directions. So I'm okay with that. Next up, I guess we'll grab city defense because warriors are important for early defense. And it's really, really quick to get done. So that is also nice. OCAP converted to a new religion. All right, so we have animism, which is actually not what we have now. We have Sumerians shamanism, but we are slowly working on converting our first territory into Sumerians shamanism. So, yeah. Right, we grab this territory. I guess next up we want to kind of block these guys in. We have we have independent peoples here. Spearmen coming over. That's pretty terrible. Alright, you know what? We're going to spend some money to finish off our
You have
Eduba.
constructed a first emblematic quarter. It's a
6
symbol
turns.
of power and a lasting memory of this era. Go
That
ahead.
is not great.
Be smug.
I guess we will grab archers because we need some defenses. They're going to probably want to try to take out Terabellum here. Alright, we got a science star. That is nice. We could attach Terabellum as part of the city. Oh, okay, you know what? This is faster. Let's switch these out and actually. Yeah, cancel those. This is faster, and we need troops now. we'll grab them up with our troops. They will station here for just a moment, and then what do we want to do next? We have a lot of water, but we don't really have any water resources. But fishing could be decent. Though at the same time we have bronze working, and that will give us access to the Agaush, and it's also 4 turns. Actually, let's go ahead and grab that. I think we need to start working on our defenses a little bit. Alright, can we buy them out? Yes, we can. Perfect. Now we have a group of 3. We did lose, unfortunately, because of this, a pop, which is the downside to this. So we are going to move the population that we have from money onto food, because we want to get another population as quickly as possible. And then I guess Artisan's Quarter could be okay, but Maker's Quarter, the Maker's Quarters just suck. I can't do a Maker's Quarter until I'm here, probably. Artisan's Quarter. We could get some production out of this, so that is decent. And we'll get some money and some gold. Some food and some gold. So that is a triple whammy right there. That benefits us greatly. And I think, let's see how much, this would benefit us. Let's actually have our army move over here to the defense of Terabellum, because I don't know if these guys are going to want to raid it or not. Though they have been static for a while, which is interesting. Now we could also grab porcelain. That's for money only. We haven't got bronze working yet, but we're working on it. 2 turns. Bronze also gives us some extra production, but just in this area, unless we hook up this territory to Unug, which is a distinct possibility, because this also has some decent industry. This has really bad industry. This one, yeah, you know what? We're going to hook up Bunda here. There we go. Gives us an expansionist star, and of course it provides all the industry from Bunda to Unug, so we are a little bit faster at producing these things, which is quite important. Now our stability takes a little bit of a hit because of that connection, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that, actually. Let's, yeah, we're not going to move adjacent to them. We're just going to station them right there for the moment. And then we'll end our turn. Now we could demilitarize another zone. I'm not sure if I want to. And is there another territory that we might want to grab, is the question. Or another city that we could build. Like, I'd like to grab this territory for sure. Before San Lorenzo does, but we need our troops to stay here, I would say. We could build this into a city at 160 influence. I don't think we're going to do that, but maybe we grab the horses for the extra science, because that's always good. Now masonry might give us some extra production as well because of stoneworks, because we have a lot of rocky terrain here, right? Or we should have, at least. That should provide some extra production if we build the stoneworks. So maybe that should be next on our list of research. Now with the money we are going to spend what we have to finish the artisan's quarter now. Oh, I guess we can't because this is now part of a battle zone. Alright, well, let's see if we can finish off this combat. Now we have a nice defensible little pocket here, I would say. We are going to do a manual battle. These are my warriors. The scouts are going to be over here. My warriors are going to be up on the high ground. These guys are going to have to hold on the low ground, unfortunately. Because if I step back here, they're going to just get attacked from the high ground and they will not have a good benefit. Well, it's not the worst of engagements, I suppose. But they're going to be tanking most of the damage for us here, unfortunately. These guys, however, because they're on the high ground, they will be able to do a good attack, also because they are swordsmen or warriors as opposed to spearmen, which will get a deficit. Oh, we could actually, they could run around here and get up here from that side. So if we run through here, then the warriors cannot be approached from any other side. And they will have to attack up. Or, well, these guys, I guess, don't have to attack up, but that's okay. Alright, these guys are going to have to get switched out. We'll move them up here. And actually, now these guys are just going to run up this hill, probably. So if we go into the defense, yeah, this works out really well for us. We keep everyone alive and we take out the two spearmen. Our warriors can finish off them, or these guys. With that, our city is no longer contested. Alright, and with that we could probably... Oh, they don't have movement left, but on the next turn we're going to take one of these guys and we're going to send him over to this territory. A game of prophecy. With the empire thriving, a new game hailing from a foreign land beguiles the population. Everywhere you go, the distinctive game board and pieces catching your eye. Insisting on a public demonstration, you play the game under instruction in your palace court, but the event has a sting in the tail. The game is reckoned to be a form of divination as well as entertainment. Gasps could be heard as the game's prophecy became clear. You are fated to lose everything. What will you do? Now we could silence this. And we would move towards authority, which is not really what I want. We could overlook it. Now we get -5 stability in Unuk, which is not that bad because we have good stability and it's just for 10 turns. And it moves our social access towards liberty, which provides us a nice benefit. And we could heat it. We would lose our science production for -2, and we would get away from. We would move towards tradition rather than. whatever the other thing was called. So I think we're going to overlook it in this particular case because we can take the hit. Now with that done, we are going to buy out the Artisan's Quarter. And that provides us with a little bit more industry as well, which is really nice. And then we need to do something else. So we could actually go ahead and build a copper mine. Gives us some science, some extra production or industry. And it's just 2 turns. I think that's well worth it. Also because we can build something based on the amount of copper that we have that also provides production in the city. We would need to build the forge, which provides +5 industry per copper, as well as +1 industry on makers quarters per adjacent makers quarters, as well as a +1 industry on makers quarters as a whole. So that is an important thing to have. I would like to have more than this, but unfortunately we will not be able to. And I kind of forgot about this guy, I think. So we're going to transfer him over there. These guys are going to hold on. They might actually want to go ahead and move up to this hill because there is an independent people here. And we can start interacting with them.
Independent people possess sophisticated customs, rights,
And there's another
language,
one.
and beliefs. I do hope you're going to treat them well.
Right, so these guys are aggressive, right? Which is something we're going to have to deal with. But we could also sign a treaty with them. And this is a whole new system in this DLC, but it's also part of a free update for Humankind. So if you don't own the expansion pack, the treaty system will be the same for everyone that just owns the base game as well, because it's an integral system. So we need to sign the established contact treaty with this independent people before you can praise or bribe them. They don't really have anything for resources or trade, or we don't have enough sufficient relationship level to be able to do it. They do have access to an unknown strategic resource. They're aggressive. These guys are peaceful. Oh, this is a sanctuary, and this is not an independent people. Okay, this is just an animal, yeah. Because I looked at the peace symbol, and that made me assume that it's, you know... Yeah, this is just for wildlife. Alright, so these are the only independent people we have so far. We might as well start dealing with them. So if we go to the treaty screen, we need to pay 58 influence to establish contact. And then that is basically provides some influence over these people. A patronage level will start increasing. So let's go ahead and establish contact.
Your first treaty with an independent people. One more step on the road to cooperation.
Alright, so I'm not entirely clear on this entire screen yet. So let's see. Select an available treaty to have this independent people sign it, provided you have a large enough share of total patronage. Right, so we need a certain level of patronage to be able to sign anything else. And we can only sign one in each tree. So we have trading charter, which, let's see, gain access to tradable resources for which this independent people has built extractors. Purchasing resources helps extend this independent people's lifespan. Then we have the mercenary charter. We gain the ability to hire mercenary armies from this independent people. Or we have science collaboration. Gain a share of this independent people's science each turn, which would give us plus 18 science, which is pretty significant, I would think. Not sure how much we produce at the moment, but yeah. Then on the next level, when we have 30% of the patronage level, we could do profit sharing, which gains us a share of this independent people's money income. We have privileged contacts, which reduces the cost of mercenary rents as well as resource trade cost. And then we have cultural exchange, +1 influence of your ideological position on their doctrine axis per turn. So they will basically get closer in ideological position to us. And then finally, we can turn them into a client state, where this independent people provides you with a share of their science, influence, and money income, and becomes politically aligned with you. They will not enter decline while they are your client state. So that means the city state will be around forever, so long as they are our client state. They also give us plus 50 international sway on major empire, which we will be able to use in the World Congress, I think, to be more powerful. Then we have the +1 influence of your ideological position on their doctrine axis. Then we get 18 influence, 12 money, minus 25% mercenary rent cost, plus 18 science, and minus 25% resource trade cost from independent treaty. Or we can assimilate them as we used to do. So that is something entirely new, which is super cool. Now, we can actually get closer to these guys or influence them more through patronage by praising them with influence per turn or with bribing them with money per turn. So it's not just a straight up gift anymore like it used to be. It actually reduces our total amount of influence production or our total amount of money production. So if we do this, you know, we are losing a little bit, but now we are getting +2 patronage per turn from praising and bribing. And they're not influenced by anything else yet, I think, so that will be okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere. We can build a maker's quarter with +8 production. That is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. If we build one over here, we can connect these up when we build one in the middle, and then they will all get like, they will start reinforcing each other. +7, like this costs us food, which is not great. But for 1 extra production, I don't know if that makes a huge difference. I think let's just go for the 7 for now and keep our food. Alright, and I think also the money we don't care too much about. We're going to drop someone on industry. So that reduces our total income, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it will be okay, I think. Meanwhile, we might want to demilitarize this zone, just to make sure that nobody grabs it before we get to it. Alright, masonry researched. That is good. These guys are going to continue on. Yeah, look at that. There were some guys over there. What do they have? These are horsemen or scout riders. Alright. Then we have Fate of the Free Cities. The world as it ever was is divided into the rulers and the ruled, great sprawling empires and proud independent cities. Your struggle is with other empires, but you should not forget the part these free cities can play. And this is definitely interesting. We could do fellow peoples. We have higher army cost or signing treaties. Now I want to see if we can get some proper treaties going with these guys. So we're going to do enact fellow peoples.
They may have more to offer than just their weapons. Assimilation does seem practical.
And we'll also grab customary laws so that we have minus 50% on create outpost cost.
That seems to leave a lot of interpretation of right and wrong.
Ooh, and we have some
Not
leverage.
to mention yours and mine.
Now leverage is the new resource that will generate on the map. We can pick up with diplomats or with troops as long as we are able to get into the territory to grab it. Basically, these are secrets belonging to another empire that we can use to blackmail them. So grabbing those would be quite important so that we can get people to do what we want them to do. Let's see, what is next? Maybe fishing for food production or irrigation, because for stability, but we have other options for that. Flood irrigation, +2 food on river. That's actually pretty good. Or writing. We could get a fame bonus if we get writing first. Maybe grab that first. I think we're okay on anything else. We're going to go ahead and go there. Now we could block off these guys from going anywhere else by moving our army right there. They would have to go through our troops before being able to reach our territory. Now, as for claiming this territory, we have 15-7 or 23. This is definitely an easy choice. We're going to go ahead and grab that territory. On the next turn, of course. There we go. Ooh, and we have a discovery that we can grab as well. So we're definitely going to go ahead and do that. Then the packing of poultry. The art of divination spreads across the empire. Priests search for messages from the gods in animal entrails, the flights of birds, the wheeling of the stars, in holy decoctions and elsewhere. Now, however, the practices have become so commonplace, so bizarre, that the whole empire is sliding towards chaotic superstition. Even the eating patterns of chickens are being interpreted by military commanders. What to do? Well, we are either embracing it, which doesn't really benefit us, or we can go with reason, which is the area we were already moving in, and we will get +5 science for 10 turns. That is definitely the way to go here. Alright, Unuk, can we buy out this Maker's Quarter? No, we cannot. I think after this we're going to be building the embassy. But let's see. These guys can move. Unfortunately, it's going to take some time to get to this as well as here because of the river. After this we need to move back onto the river. We'll cost them all of their movement. Era, Builder Star. Let's see. Army of Warriors spawns next to us. That is perfect. That is really cool. We are definitely... I'm definitely happy about that. And then these guys can start moving up here. Ooh, that's not too bad actually. I thought we would have to go over here. Of course we still have to deal with the river. But that's okay. Meanwhile, the embassy I think is important to grab because it will allow us to interact with them in a different way, which is also super interesting to look at. We could also do another Eduba, and this would provide us +8 science as well, which is really nice. Like, we get +26 science, even without scientists right now, which seems really, really strong. But we're not at the point yet where we can move on to the next era. So maybe for now we can grab an embassy, which we can build anywhere as long as it's connected to our territory here. Now, where do we want to build it? We could build it like this is a dead zone or dead spot. Like, this doesn't provide us with anything. So let's actually go ahead and build one over here. Now this is one of those shared projects that other cities could also contribute to, except we don't have other cities. So, alright, our side is weaker overall. Oh, they have 2 warriors. No, we're retreating from that. Unfortunately, you know, we need some more patronage. We have 100% share of the total patronage. We have a 10 of patronage, but that's just because the other people have not encountered these guys yet, and so have not been able to influence them. We could speed this up. We're already at 10, we need 20, so we will be there in 5 turns to go to one of these other steps. Do we want to share more of the patronage? No, I think not. I think for now we'll keep it as it is, because we don't really have competition with these guys. Again, and this time we cannot retreat. Crap. And we cannot block ourselves into the high ground either. Alright, so we'll have to do a manual battle here, just to make sure that we can survive for as long as possible. We're going to hold the high ground. If these guys run around to take out their outposts, we can attack them from up on high. That's the best way to go about it, I would think. Fortunately, these guys get to run all the way around and just attack us from an even level. Look at that. That is terrible. They lose so little. Right, we're going to move around them because I want to grab the high ground here. And this is pretty even. I guess we'll have to go for it. Though we could have defended as well this turn. I guess we... It's kind of freezing up. Sometimes that happens. We can meanwhile check out some other things. We are already at 5 people here, which is nice because now we have 1 population moving on to money production. We might want to put them on industry so that this goes a little bit quicker. Alright, that is weird. We could just end the round like that, but... Alright, you know what? I'm going to have to reload this game. Alright, well, the game is reloaded. And immediately these guys are back to fighting. I guess we did not attack them, or maybe we did. Man. This is decent, I guess, but we'll grab the high ground, because at this point I don't care if we lose this battle, right? It's better for us to be on the defensive. Because then these guys will attack me. They're not even going for the flag. That is interesting. So we might be able to hold on here. if we just hold the high ground and keep defending. It's going to be very, very close, unfortunately, but it's the best option that we have. Now, on to the next turn.
An enormous leap forward. From mundane tallies of crops to recording the wisdom of sages, humankind now wields the most powerful tool of all.
The fighting, meanwhile, is going on. We did research,
Now,
and we are the
things that
first.
one generation learned can be passed to the next via something more reliable than campfire stories.
Alright, we got the scientist star, and we got a victory. It's too bad that we couldn't really watch it, but hey, we won. We'll heal them up, and then later on we're going to have to get another military soldier, I guess. Alright, ooh, 5 leverage, that's decent, that's pretty good. That makes me happy. We're not going to grab this discovery, I think. But we could try to grab the territory, since these guys haven't really grabbed it. Doesn't really recommend anything or any place. 614, 612, 612, 712, 412, 413. Like on the next turn we can put an outpost there, that would be pretty decent. And I think then it's about time that we start making a second city, because, man, it's taking forever. Now, envoys, also interesting, are a new unit that we can make as soon as we get the wheel. They are diplomatic agents, leverage intel gathering units that can influence independent peoples by visiting them. Oh, that's good. Cultural ambassador. They are visiting foreign cities, allows for both parties to gain influence. Visiting independent peoples allows increased patronage. And they are unrestricted. They move faster on roads and have no restrictions on movement in foreign territory, but cannot perform any offensive actions. Organized warfare. We don't really have multiple armies at the moment, so this doesn't help us immediately. Irrigation we don't really need at the moment. Fishing could be decent, so maybe let's do fishing first and then we move on with the wheel. That might be the way to go. We do own marble as well. We could build something on top of marble. +1 industry per workers per marble. That is pretty decent. Alright, how is religion doing? Religion is very weak. Very, very weak. Now we get La Superba. That is nice. And it's immediately ours. We could grab papyrus for the extra science, which actually is a decent investment. I'll go ahead and grab it. This is La Superba. Actually, we just grabbed Merope. That's I'm looking at the wrong place. Right. Meanwhile, yeah, I probably want to keep these warriors close to the border. We'll move them over. Especially since this is demilitarized, so they don't really do anything useful there. Right, fishing researched. That's nice. We'll go ahead and grab the wheel next. But now we can make harbors, we can get some more food production in our city. And I think from this point on we will start saving up influence to make another city, though we could actually grab gold. It's just 2% money per gold. We're not really making much money anyway, so the benefit of that is very, very slight. Extremely minimal. As for treaties, we just got to the point where we are able to get a second treaty. We could do the trading charter, the mercenary charter, or the science collaboration, but of course we need to have the proper amount of influence, which right now we do not have. These guys are going to station right there. Yeah, and that's about it. I guess we could also explore a little bit more. I mean, why not, right? Why not? So we have another group of fighters over here. They have some warriors. So they have at least have 3 units, just like us. Now, as for treaties, we could do the trading charter. Gain access to tradable resources for which this independent people has built extractors. I don't know if they've built any extractors though. Mercenary charters could be okay, or science collaboration. Science could be really good. Or we could just ignore it for now, because I want to build another city, and that might be more important than currying their favor.
Behind those elegant doors, a whole new world of diplomacy awaits.
Look at that. Our new embassy. That is interesting. Alright, we'll go ahead and grab this. Then we will have to see what to build next. We have a lot of industry right now, but that's partially because we have population. We will get another population in 4 turns. We could make Eduba, or actually, you know what, Artisan's Quarter. We'll probably, yeah, we can build it on marble right here, which is great. Also gives us some field of view over on this area, which is not the most important thing, but it's nice. And more importantly, it provides +1 industry per worker, so that gives us another +3 industry once that is built.
Come over here.
We will not declare war on the Olmecs, but we... Oh, this is a dead end. This is interesting. This is a very defensible location as well. Could build like a fort here, and then they would have to pass through here or go all the way around there. That's not too bad. The flooded lands. Unrelenting deluge of rainfall lashes down upon the great city of Unuk and the surrounding lands. If the rains don't stop soon, the banks of the great river that threads through the city will burst, flooding the adjacent quarters. With limited time and resources, the choices are stark. What do you do? We could gamble with chance of terrible consequences. Sounds bad. We cannot do protect, which is unfortunate. We could go with adapt, which leaves us with almost no money and a chance of bad consequences. But I think we need to make the most out of it. I do think so. Alright, so that is the wheel researched. We've got an estate star. We need just one more. So if we, let's see, kill another military unit, we could get a military star and we would move on to the next stage. We're like halfway in terms of fame. I don't know what the other people have done, but we need to work on that. Now we could build porcelain, which provides us with extra money, which might actually be decent and is very quick to do. So we'll go ahead and grab that as well. And also, you know, provides stability, which is nice. You know, the stability also comes in useful, especially since we're at 93%. This also provides us with stability. Now, as for research, at this point, organized warfare sounds like a good and important thing to grab. It's definitely important to have because your armies can start reinforcing each other, which is always very nice. We'll move them back up to Merope, I guess, and then we'll station them there. But we have been playing for some time already, so I'm going to be putting a cut in here. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.